What I'm about to tell you may be disturbing to many. Imagine a file that has been closed and reopened for 20 years. Each time it resurfaces, it raises even more questions. The Jeffrey Epstein file. This is not just a crime story. It also raises uncomfortable questions about power, connections, and how systems truly operate. It all began in 2006 with an official complaint filed by a victim's family. The allegations were serious. By 2008, the investigation had expanded. Yet the expected heavy consequences never came. Epstein reached a controversial plea agreement with prosecutors and received a remarkably light sentence. The decision shocked the public. For years, the case would briefly return to the headlines, only to fade into silence again. Until 2018, when investigative journalist Julie K. Brown brought it back into the national spotlight. Victim testimonies, old documents, and previously overlooked details were re-examined. In 2019, Epstein was arrested once more, but only weeks later, he was found dead in a high-security prison. His death was officially ruled a suicide. However, malfunctioning cameras, guard negligence, and irregularities surrounding his cell created deep public mistrust. And once again, the case seemed to close, surrounded by question marks. Epstein's circle was anything but ordinary. Business leaders, politicians, academics, artists, some of the world's most influential figures had been part of his social network. Of course, being present in the same environment does not automatically imply wrongdoing. Yet the breadth of these connections led many to question whether this was more than an isolated criminal case. The Palm Beach mansion, the private island in the Caribbean, private flights, exclusive gatherings, victim testimonies pointed to a systematic pattern of exploitation. Young girls were allegedly invited with promises of money and opportunity, only to face manipulation and coercion over time. In 2006, the FBI gathered dozens of corroborated reports. Despite this, the 2008 plea deal intensified debates about justice and accountability. Years later, the broader release of court documents brought the case back into public focus. And this raises a critical question. Do the disclosed documents reveal the full picture, or only the portion the public is allowed to see? This case sparked a global discussion, not only about one man's crimes, but about how power, influence, and protection mechanisms may operate behind the scenes. Facts, allegations, and speculation have become intertwined. But one thing is certain, even if the case appears closed, its impact continues. And perhaps the real question is this: how much difference is there between what we are allowed to see and what actually happened? Because this story is not over. In the upcoming episodes, we will examine how everything began, how the process unfolded, which names appeared at different stages, and the details that entered the official record. We will move through documented evidence, separate verified facts from allegations, and attempt to see the bigger picture more clearly. This is not only a crime story, it is also an examination of power, responsibility, and accountability. And the real story begins now.